Happy Friday, friends. I'm Nancy Thompson with Create with Nancy, and it's time for some creative ink. It's time for me to get creative and to inspire you to do your own creations and send those creations to those that you love. So come on in, say hello. Let me know where you're from if you're joining me live today. And if you're watching the replay, please say hello as well and hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you get notified when I go live. Usually it is 3 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube on Wednesdays, and Friday only at 3 p.m. 3 p.m.-ish. I'm always 3 p.m.-ish. Okay, as well here on YouTube only, so you can always see me then. Hi, Colleen. Welcome. The sun is shining. It is shining here in Central New York. Yay. I think the temperatures are still a little chilly. I don't know. I've been inside. We had our crafters tea today. I'm wearing one of the pins for the favors that I made for everybody who came today, because tomorrow's Valentine's Day, right? So we had a lot of Valentine themed favors. Hi, Shirley. I saw Shirley earlier today. So let's get going, okay? I got a lot to do. I've got a lot to share with you. So today we are making a fabulous pinwheel card, okay? I don't know if you've ever made these before. They're just a kind of a fun, unique card to make. So let me know, does it look complicated to you? Let me know in the comments. So when we're done making it, I want to know if you feel like I can do this, okay? All right, we're using the new Homemade Sweetness designer paper. It's a sneak peek of what's going to happen on March, I think it's March 3rd, okay? It will be available then. Hi, Kathy. Welcome. I saw Kathy yesterday. Here we go. Okay, so Wednesday was this pinwheel card, okay? We didn't make this one. I did these in my stamp club this month, and here's those. But I showed these. I think, did we make this one? I can't remember what one we made. I think we made the yellow one. I don't know. But anyways, here's this Daffodil Delight one. It's such an easy card to make. Here's this one with Balmy Blue, and it's using the, what's the name of it? Mixed Up Patterns designer paper. It's in the mini catalog. This is a great guy one, I think. I think it looks sharp with the Secret C. And it uses that paper. Yeah, that's in there too, the Mixed Up Pattern paper. So don't discount that package of paper. And then this one, I feel like I should have reversed it. Put the light on the background and the darker up front. I think that would have made a better looking pinwheel, because this blends in too much into the background. Okay, so that was Wednesday's live. So you can go back and watch that if you missed it. And there will be a tutorial at some point in the newsletter. So if you're not a subscriber to my newsletter, make sure you subscribe. Go to createwithnancy.com and hit that subscribe now button. And that will take you to the newsletter and also blog post as well. And we did this pinwheel card a few weeks ago. I'm not sure exactly how many, but a few weeks, 2 or 3, maybe 4 weeks within the past month. So this was another simple and easy pinwheel card that we did on a Wednesday. So there's another design. And what pattern was this? This used the, what is this called? Square Snippets designer paper, okay? And it's got one of those new embossing folders on the background. Super easy. It's just really pairing up 2 papers that you love to go with each other. And then there's a third idea. Such an easy card. If you have quilters in your life, these are great cards to have. In fact, I'm doing being a vendor at a vendor show at a quilt retreat, and I should make some more of these to have on hand. So I got to do that. Okay, so today we are using this Filled with Sweetness bundle. This die here will actually, this is the actual size jar, I believe, true to size, and the die will cut this out and it creates a hinge so you can kind of have an open and close type thing. It's not super big. Let's see if that is true to size. You know what? Actually, this might still be a little, yeah, it's bigger. The stamp is even bigger. okay, than this picture. So it's a fairly good size stamp, okay? And then there's a great little lid to go on top. There's, if you were to tie ribbon around it, you know how you tie ribbon around the jar lid, and then there's a bow as well that you can use to create with, okay? So really cool for that. And I love all the label dies in this, and this will punch out the blueberries. That's a stamp set right here, and the strawberry, there's a strawberry die cut as well. So cute little bundle. So that's available March 4th. So if you love making jam, this might be the perfect set for you. Okay, I know. I'm loving the warm sunshine. And then I'm using the words out of this bundle here. Lovely arrangements. And this is, oh, excuse me, part of the January online exclusives. Okay. All right, let's get making this simple and easy. Oh, let's look at our paper, right? Because this is just the cutest paper. It's got the cute honey jars, which, you know, we have honey, you know, and just other jam jars. Here's the flip side to that one, because I need more paper and I can't wait to order more of this. We're only allowed to get 3 packages. And let me say, I am going through this paper with making samples. Here's the front and back of these 2. And then here's this one right here. And then we've got a bunch of fruit pieces. Here's the back side. I think that's, yes, there's the back side of that one, front and back. And now this one, I've already used so much of this. It's the cute little ladybugs and daisies on this one. And then that's the flip side. I love this gingham. And then we have these spoons. And then the flip side is these little tiny hearts right here. They are just adorable. So cute paper. And look at all the fussy cutting I've been doing, okay? So we're kind of doing this card on the fly here. And I even fussy cut during class today. I was doing some fussy cutting of some more fruit to play around with if I decide to use any of the fruit slices for today's card. So cute fruit slices. Okay, let's make this card super easy. I have all these, got all these little strips of paper on my desk, and they're wanting to, I need to bag them up and put them somewheres. Okay, we need a paper trimmer. Here we go. So our card base, or well, part of our card base, we're going to create our tower here. Okay, this is the inside of our card. And then I've already pre-cut these panels, so we're all set with that. So for our tower, we need a piece that is 4 1/4 by 4 1/2. Because our tower is going to have 1 inch sides, okay? And that 1/2 inch is what's going to help us connect our tower. It's going to be 4 1/4 tall by 4 1/2 wide, okay? So we're simply going to score on the 1 inch increments, okay? There's 1, and here's, I almost want to reach for that cutter. Let's park that a little farther away. There's 2 inches, 3 inches, and then 4 inches. That is it. That's what's going to create our tower. Let's move that out of the way. We definitely need a bone folder. Okay, so let's grab our bone folder and burnish these edges. So burnish them really, really well. Really smooth them out, okay? Because that's what's going to help the movement of our tower, okay? Our pinwheel. So let's do that. And so here's our tower, okay? So we're going to just fold this 1/2 inch in, and we're going to just put some adhesive, some liquid glue right here on this flap, okay? There we go. Don't do too much glue, you know, like a big, so it oozes out. And then we're going to fold it on this second increment inch, and it should fold close and even. So it lines up perfectly like this. So now we have our beautiful looking tower. Okay, let's just smooth that out. so it adheres to that side piece there. Okay, now we're ready to, we're gonna put our panels together first. I think it's easier than doing the flipping back and forth, okay? So our pieces we have are, so let's see, that's the first one. So we're going to layer these. We have some designer paper that, let me make sure I've got my measurements right, that are 1 3/8 by 3 3/8, okay? So 1 3/8 by 3 7/8, okay? 7/8 is not 3/8, 7/8. So 1 3/8 by 3 7/8. And then our cardstock here is going to be, this one is 1.5 by 4 inches. Okay, so we're going to just, am I doing this right? Do I have this right color? Yes, I do. I had to think for a minute because I was cutting this during class today. So, okay, so let's adhere these. So we're going to need 4 of these. So 4 pieces, 4 designer paper that are 1 3/8 by 3 7/8, and then 4 pieces of cardstock that are 1.5 by 4 inches. Okay, just get these all layered up. This is going to be part of our card. Here we go. Okay, so we got those 4 pieces. We're going to set those aside. And then we have this one right here. So this designer paper is 2 3/8 by 3 7/8. It's hard to pair up the two. So, and then we're layering it onto cardstock that is, yes, 2.5 by 4 inches. Okay. So the designer paper is 2 3/8 by 3 7/8, and the cardstock is 2.5 by 4 inches. That's an easy measurement to remember. So there's 3 pieces of this one, okay? So tell me in the comments if you've ever made a Pinwheel Tower Card. I was trying to look for a tutorial, and I must have not been doing tutorials back then, but I know I've demoed, and I didn't think to look on my YouTube channel to see if I did, because I didn't do YouTube right away. Started out with just Facebook. Okay, we're going to stamp a greeting on this. The white is the same size as our designer paper, okay? We're going to use some Secret C, and this cardstock here that we're layering onto is Misty Moonlight. Okay, we're going to use the words out of it, "You're the sweetest." Okay, so let's just stamp that right there. So that way if you mess up, you can flip it over and stamp it again, right? And let's layer this onto our final piece here. And this is a card that you really want to stay away from dimensionals. Excuse me, because there's a lot of layering, so it will create a lot of bulk unless you're okay with you know, adding extra postage, which we know is really adds up fast if you're sending a lot of cards. Okay, made the, yes, lots of fun for, okay, Colleen has made one. Yes, lots of fun for a bit blue one. Okay, so let's add this onto some strawberry slush here. That is, what size is this here? Where did my measurement go? Here we go. By 2 3/4 by 4 and, do I want to do that? I gotta look here. Yes, I do. I had to think here for a minute. So 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. Okay. So let's do that. And layer this onto here. So we're gonna just do this. And then we'll decorate each of these panels once we do this. So it's really easy, simple measurements. Oops, we need this one. Okay. So you're putting these onto here. Now these little ones, we're kind of setting them right aside for a moment, but we're going to kind of just pair them up into pairs, okay? So let's do that, and then let's do this, because I kind of want to, as we're flipping through, okay, we can kind of plan out what we're doing, all right? So let's see. I'm going to put, yeah, what do I want to do here? I forgot to mount that one. We are going to, let's do some words here for a minute. Just stamp this onto some scrap. We're going to do Sending Smiles and Homemade for You. Okay, there we go. Let's move that out of the way, and let's go grab this. I don't know where I got that from. We might be leaving that blank for the moment. And we are just going to, we're going to cut these straight. Okay. You could have done a skinnier piece as well, but I'm going to just kind of freehand this. You could use your trimmer if you wanted to. We're just going to freehand this. There we go. And we're going to cut this down the middle. Okay, so what do I want to start with? Let's work with, we're going to do this. It's going to be our page 1 up here, okay? So I'm going to use Sending Smiles. Here we go. Oh, that is big. We might have to redo that one. We're going to nix that. We're going to go back with Hello Friend. I thought it would fit. So let's use Hello Friend here. We'll just stamp this on some scrap right here. Maybe I'll use one side that's flat. And then I only have to trim one, right? Okay, we're going to cut this off. Cut along here. There we go. And we're going to do this. There we go. Okay, let's... Whoops. Sorry, my phone.
You'll need to unlock your iPhone first.
Hold on. Okay, be quiet. Phones, right? Okay, we're going to put hello up there. Let's look at this. Oh, a birthday card. Okay, great, Colleen. You just got your Valentine's cards. Nice. Oh, you forgot to put the, I have done that, Colleen. I have done that. So don't feel like you're alone. It's so easy to do, to not put postage on your cards. And you wanted to get there, right? You mailed them out soon enough. And you're like, rats, it's not going to make it. Okay, so we got Hello Friend there. And we're going to decorate, I don't know. I wanted to try to use these fruits. Let's just play, okay? So maybe we'll just kind of simply do like some cherry jam, right? I think we're just going to kind of go like this. So we're going to play. We're going to start creating our panels, and then, because you want them to kind of like flow. So let's do that. And what did I do in my next one? Where did the Homemade for You go? All right, what did I do with that? Oh, here it is, right here. Let's go back to this. Let's cut this off. Get rid of that. We'll trim these up. Here we go. Oh, you know what? We're going to trim this like this. A little easier. And then we'll trim this. Okay, we got homemade for you. There's that. We got little pieces flying all over the place. I think just kind of go like this. I think I like that. All these, I got glue on my fingers, so everything's sticking. Let's get rid of this ink before I stick something in it. Okay, so I think I like that. What are you guys thinking? What color blue is the gingham? It is Misty Moonlight, Colleen. Okay, card number 3 here. I think we're gonna do that. I'm gonna wait to, I don't know what to put on this, but I'm gonna put that there. And let's add, what else we got here? We got some peach jam. Oh, let's do this in the orange marmalade. Let's do like this. We're gonna keep our thing cherry, lemon, peach, and orange, right? And then the final one, let's do, I'm gonna leave room to write there, and let's put in some more. Let's just go like this, right? I like, there's some, we've got orange slice, we've got some blueberries, and maybe we'll get a raspberry in here. And there's a peach. Okay, let's go with that. So how do you layer these? You kind of layer these apart, right? So I just kind of like hold my finger, you've got them in place, and I start with try to pick up something from the bottom without disturbing the rest, and stick that in place, okay? Then I'm gonna move on to my blueberries. Just kind of work your way around till you get everything in place. Let's put this on, our little peach here. Peach slice. And then let's do this next one. It's orange slice. I guess it's an orange. It looks more like a grapefruit to me. This is kind of like cut, so I want to hide that seam a little bit. Okay, and then let's add, they're tiny, a little blueberry just down here. Okay, what do you think? Isn't that cute? So let's add these, glue these down. And I think I'm gonna take my chances and glue this into place. And I'm gonna find a stamp. I think they're out in the classroom, the stamp that I want. So we'll have to add that later. And you notice I don't really have ribbon on here. I'm keeping ribbon to a minimum, no ribbon, and even gems as well. Okay, you could, but there is definitely a lot of bulk, so keep that in mind when you're you know, layering everything up, because there's a lot of layers of cardstock and designer paper. You could do without the layer of cardstock, but I like the contrast. The Misty Moonlight brings out the paper and then gives a contrast to the card base. Makes such a difference when you add in multiple layers. Okay, I didn't put anything here. Hang on, what do we got? Well, I guess what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the honey bear, honey and lemon, right? Honey and lemon. Let's just go with this. We'll go with the honey bear. I think just the honey bear. Okay. Yeah, let's just go with the honey bear. There we go. Put then it does look kind of, he looks a little lonely, doesn't he? Okay. There we go. All right. So we're almost ready to put our card together. When I did my sample, I didn't lay it out like this. I think it makes it so much easier to see it and to adhere everything. All right, the words are down. Let's add our cherries here. And these were easy to, they weren't hard to fussy cut. Okay, so where did our tower go, Nancy? So here's our tower. So what you're gonna do is, we're gonna add glue to a panel, okay? So let's add some glue to one panel. We're gonna do one panel at a time. And there we go. I'm gonna put it over to the left-hand side, okay? And it doesn't matter as long as you start with one, okay? So I'm gonna work my way backwards, I guess. We're lining this up to the edge, okay? So you can see we're only adhering, it's only adhered to that left side of the panel, okay? And that's open. Then we're gonna go to the next one, okay? And that was that one. I should have started here first. So let me think here. So that's the last one. So we want this to be the first one. So now we're gonna put it on the second panel, okay? I should have started with the first one. But either way, as long as you think about it. And we're gonna line this right up to that edge. It's gonna sit in that crease there, right along that side. So you can see, so here's the next box of our tower, okay? So it's just adhering the left edge of each one. So this is next, and then you just give it a flip, okay? So there's my tower there. So can you figure out where these are gonna go? It's, once you think about it, it's easy to figure out. Sometimes it helps just kind of hold that up and let it sit even with that previous panel. Okay, happy to see vertical. Oh, okay, Joan, you make it horizontal. Okay, okay. Yeah, you could do that. You could do it so it goes like this. I hadn't thought about that. That would be a great one to do. Okay, last panel. It's going to be right in here. Okay, so don't be afraid to come back to see this video to see how it's assembled. As long as you keep going in the same order. I mean, you could have put these on and then adhered, you know, the layer. That would have worked too. Okay, so where do these go? All right, this was my last one. So these are gonna go right here, okay? To the left, on the back side of each panel. It's a really cool concept. So this one's gonna go here. Line up my mats so they look pretty even. Then we'll flip it. This was this one with the orange marmalade and the peach jam. So let's put this here. Flip. Here's our honey and lemon right here. There we go. And then finally, here's our first one to add. Let's do this. There we go. Okay, what do you think? So this is how I would put it in the envelope. You can see the thickness. That's why I really would not recommend dimensionals. You know, I didn't cut paper for an envelope. Nancy, what were we thinking here today? hang on. I gotta see if I can reach an envelope number 1. My office is a disaster. Okay, so which paper do we want to use? Let's go with the hearts, okay? I used too much of the gingham. We're gonna go with the hearts. So let's grab an envelope, and then we're gonna see how this fits in our envelope, okay? Add some glue here. Here we go. Here's our hearts. There we go. Okay, they make fancy cards. People are amazed. Yes, they are. I mean, it's just something different. If you are looking for that fun, unique card, this would be a great one to share with others. Okay, where's our card? Let's stick it in our envelope. And then let's grab our little envelope tester here. See how it goes. Yeah, it just fits nicely. So, so really keep the, the thickness in mind. Dimensionals, no. Ribbon, you'd have to be selective. Like maybe some ribbon on these like end panels might be okay. But yeah, hopefully they know how to flip it around, right? But it's a great shelf card as well for people, to sit on a shelf. So, okay, so here's this one. So you can see this one right here that we did. This one I really layered up, so you can just have fun with it. There's so many great things to fussy cut in this paper, and then finally there's that. Okay, so I got these designs. But I think maybe I'll try to make it and share it in my next newsletter. Okay, so if you're not a subscriber, make sure you subscribe to my newsletter. Okay, and you can order any of these supplies. Well, you can order the cardstock now, so you have that, but the paper is not available until March 3rd. Okay, when the online exclusives go live, as well as the bundle and all that other stuff. So, okay, what else do I need to say? It's still product of the month in case you missed it. It's the new Painted Illusions designer paper. So when you reach $75, you can choose this paper for $5, an additional $5. And this was the December paper, and January was a stamp set. Fabulous Sayings was the stamp set for that. Okay, and it's a perfect time to join the Ink with the Stampin' Up community, because when you do that, you get the new Stampin' Positioner in your join kit. All right, and I think that's about it. So next week, I'm not sure what we're doing yet. I haven't had time to be doing too much stamping. So, and tomorrow is a busy day. So yeah, so come on next week. Come join me again next Wednesday at 3 p.m. for some more Creative Ink. And if you have any questions or need anything, feel free to reach out to me. And thank you so much for being here today to see what we create. And I so appreciate you. And make sure to share and like this video. Okay? All right. Until then, have a great weekend. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Enjoy some time with your loved ones. Okay? Bye-bye.